And we are here for you. Now, you looking for one of the hottest podcasts out? We talk about relationships, trending topic. Punk is here to help fix your relationship.
You got a degree?
You got a degree. I don't know if it's in that.
Experience is better than a degree.
Hey.
38.
Okay, you almost at the grown folks table.
Oh, what? I thought 30 was the grown folks table. No?
Nah,
I got
40.
an 18-year-old. I've been at the table a long time.
40.
All right. Here we are here providing a safe place for people to vent about their relationships, especially men, because you know, men, we need a safe place.
No safe spaces.
Everyone.
But we are here for everyone.
We are here for everybody, okay? We're here for all genders are welcome. We just had to put that little nugget in there because we have a large men following on TikTok.
We do.
Definitely.
And I'm here for y'all.
Oh, y'all on TikTok too? Lord.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep. Going live on TikTok in a couple of minutes as well. And we're also here to help bridge the communication gap between men and women. All right, I know some people might see us as red pill, but we're definitely not red pill. We come on here, we have genuine conversations, we respect everybody that comes here, and hey, let's get to it.
Create these terms from, because I've been trying to I googled this red pill thing, and I'm just confused at what is it supposed to mean.
Just from my general consensus or my general perspective of it, it's more of like a misogynistic type of mindset and approach,
like we don't like women,
right? And I don't want to be confused.
Oh, like Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels liked women.
He did.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's get that mic up there, man.
Are we sure?
Yes. He was just giving y'all some gems. I don't think a lot of y'all. He might have said it in a bad way, but he wasn't telling no lies.
There were some lies he told, I think. So I honestly,
coming from a male's perspective, he ain't tell no lies. I know it'd be hard to hear, but he didn't tell no lies.
It's not hard for me to hear. I've been through a lot, and I think some of the women who called in, they put themselves in that position to be ripped apart.
I'm not saying he should have talked down on nobody or came off aggressive or derogatory or none of that. That's why I said his approach and the way he said it might not have been, the best, but he ain't tell no lies.
Sometimes you need a hard approach with hard-headed people.
Because sugarcoating, people don't be getting the message when you sugarcoat it all the time.
I agree.
So I like y'all just went into a Kevin Samuels topic. I like that wasn't even on the docket. Let's go. All right. I got a question for. So did you have an alias you wanted to use, or you just going straight off the government?
You can call me Ikhanic.
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 IKH.
So Ikhanic.
ANIC.
Are men intimidated by powerful women?
A man is not.
Ooh, can you expound?
I think so I've been divorced 16 years and I've dated a lot. I raised 2 sons by myself, so I really didn't bring anyone in my home. So I haven't had like a real long-term relationship because I wanted to focus on my sons, but I did date. I think that a man who is confident within himself would not be intimidated by a woman who's got it together. I would feel that's what a man would want. Right? What do you think?
A powerful woman.
Well, when you say powerful, what do you mean?
Right, I guess that's the
high earning, independent. A lot of people relying on her in society and the community.
So I think with that's all great and fine because I have lots of friends who are corporate, attorneys, teachers, doctors. I think it really matters how the woman's thought process and how she thinks of herself and how she thinks about men. I think that's really important because, you know, a lot of us weren't raised with our fathers. My father and I rekindled our relationship when I was 19. So before he passed away at 59, like, you know, we had squared everything away. We were close, you know, walked me down the aisle and saw my kids. But in those formative years, he wasn't really there to screen boyfriends and say, hey, nah, not him. You know, I think there are a lot of women out there who have to figure it out for themselves. And it comes with age and wisdom and experience. I probably would not use the word powerful because I think it's too vague. I don't think that's a really good title. I think a successful, career-driven, but you also have to know how to be a woman. And that's not something that everybody possesses.
Punk?
I don't think men are. Did you say intimidated by powerful women? No.
Powerful, successful, however you want.
No, I don't think men are intimidated by powerful nor successful women.
But then we can't speak for everybody.
Well, we're on the podcast.
I'm just speaking for the general. Like, I don't.
Can you expound more into that?
Expound.
I'm not sure that there's much more to say. I just don't think that we're intimidated by powerful women. I don't know what gives that impression that we're intimidated.
Yeah, why is
by
that narrative
women,
out there? Because have you heard that narrative? Or is it only on my timeline?
No, it's a social media concept that's made up and passed around. Everybody just falling on the train.
Okay,
but they have to see it happening somewhere. But I think we're confusing powerful and successful with bad attitude or the way you carry yourself. Like you said, every woman don't know how to be a woman. So it don't matter how powerful you are, none of that. Like, at the end of the day, a man wants a woman, not someone trying to be the man. Like, that's just not what we want. So I'm not intimidated that you're powerful, successful, whatever circles you in. But the way you treat me at home, if it ain't how I want it to be, your power and success don't mean nothing. And that don't mean I'm intimidated. It just mean I don't want to deal with your bad behavior. And that's okay.
And the same thing goes for women. You know, there are a lot of black men who are kind of like the unicorn out there who think they're the unicorn. Oh, I've got this, this, and this. Every black woman would want me. Nah, bro. No. You suck. I mean, you know, a lot of them are narcissists. And I've come across quite a few. And I think people need to learn and study what a narcissist is.
Yeah, they be throwing that word around like everybody a narcissist now. So you're a narcissist. You're a narcissist. He's a narcissist. Like,
not everybody. I definitely have studied through watching some therapy sessions with this one doctor. I can't think of her name. Dr. Ramani, and she's really good at talking about recognizing narcissists. And it's not even about a man, woman. It's about a parent, a family member, a friend, people who constantly take and emotionally drain you. And so looking back, I can now say that my ex-husband was a narcissist. Still is.
Ikhanic go one today. Ikhanic go one today.
Look, I'm not saying I'm
that
perfect.
ain't my battle to fight. So.
Oh no! Let me just say it's not a battle. My kids are grown.
Oh no, I like to have something to say back, but it ain't my battle to fight. Like that was.
I think we all have to recognize what our traumas are. We have to fix them. A lot of black people are not going to therapy. Therapy is okay. To talk to somebody instead of repeating the trends that we grow up in. And black men have it hard. You know, they're judged, you know, in this world when they walk out the house. It's hard being a black man, you know. And I had to tell my sons, look, you can't do everything your white friends do. Your rules are different. You got to move differently. So I think women have to start understanding black men. Doesn't mean you have to put up with cheating, lying, disrespect. But if you have a man that you can work with that's got great qualities, but he's, you know, got some stuff. Because everybody's got baggage, right?
Absolutely.
But these men be carrying Louis Vuitton and big heavy bags.
The same way you was talking about your daddy not being around, we carrying that same baggage plus the baggage of our mothers raising us a certain way when you really can't. You really just you can't. It's just not. No, you know, it's not in your nature to be that, to really teach that. Like, so yeah, we deal with a lot more than people think we do. So
absolutely. You know, my son's 24. He's married. He's in the military. He's coming out. Actually, today is his out day.
Hey, congratulations.
Yes. They live in Texas. But I always told my sons, I can't teach you how to be a man, but I can teach you how to be respectful, hardworking, and be a good person.
Right. My mama taught me how to treat a woman, but that still is more to being a man than just how to treat a woman. So, yeah.
All right. Ikhanic.
Yes, sir.
Do you think men are the prize?
No.
Okay. All right. I like the straight answer. And do men think they are the prize because they were coddled by their mama?
So, from my dating experiences, looking back, there was a guy that I dated about a year ago.
Story time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, man. I had to remove myself. He actually told me, he was like, I'm a prize. I was like, oh, okay.
What's wrong with him saying that?
Well, because he had a lot of unresolved issues with his parents, and unfortunately they passed away. And he was anti-therapy, and he just thought he can fix himself on his own. You know, one of the questions I ask a guy when I'm first dating is, what's your relationship with your mother? Because that determines how you're going to treat a woman, right? Fathers are great, and they teach you certain things, but how you treat your mother and how you feel about your mother determines how you feel about women. And what he told me was that he had a great relationship, that this is all the representative. Month or so, two later, you know, I'm starting to hear stories about how he didn't get enough attention, how his mother, he was the middle child, and he just, you know, she didn't congratulate him on his accomplishments. And I'm like, oh, Lord, he want validation. I can't give him that. I ain't got it. Like, I can't, it's not for me to validate who you are. You have to validate yourself. So in his mind, he was the prize because he great job. And he's younger than me, like 8 years. Great job, successful, but there was some narcissistic traits.
And any response point?
Are men the prize? I just got a question. Do you think women are the prize?
I think.
Speak honestly.
I am. I always think before I.
This ain't a straight yes or no, because with the men it was a straight no.
Yeah. So it depends on the woman. I think if you have experience and you've learned and you understand men and women and how to be a woman, and you offer a lot, you are a prize.
So can I ask why that wasn't the same answer for a man? Because if they go through the experience and learn and know how to treat a woman and all that, why aren't they the prize?
Because it's not my job to pursue a man.
I never said. Why does that mean
I'm
you're
pursuing? So I'm from the generation where I've always been courted, right? And so if you're courting me, then I'm the prize that you're trying to win. So it's not my job to chase a man. It's not my job to court a man. It's not my job. So I saw something on Instagram today. This woman got on one knee and proposed to her man. And I'm like, bitch, really? That's not what we're doing. Because then the roles become confused.
You don't think they became confused already?
Oh, they've been confused. I think a lot of women don't. So
who asked to confuse the roles? Where did the confusion of the roles come from?
I think it started, honestly, some people say women's liberation, right? Women were second-class citizens, couldn't vote, couldn't do anything. I think over time we became, well, we're going to get an education and we're going to, get jobs. And, if your man loses his job, somebody got to work, I think that some women, as they got more money and more education, they start to feel like, well, I don't need nobody. I don't need a man. I don't feel like that. And that's just me personally. I don't need a man, but do I want a partner? Absolutely.
You said, I don't feel like that. Then you said, I don't need a man.
I don't need, but do I want Those are two different things. Absolutely.
Punk,
but
you
I'm
need
not
a
going to
woman?
settle.
Punk, you need a woman?
Absolutely. It's the only way the world go around. Like, we literally need each other for the world to go around, to reproduce.
I've already
to
reproduced.
create.
I'm done.
And you needed a man to do it. Like, we need each other. We need companionship. We put here on earth for each other. So when we think like we don't need each other, we do. You need protection. You're supposed to be provided for. We need nurturers. We need each other. It's supposed to be that way.
It depends on what stage you are in life. So I'm done having kids. My kids are grown. I can say I'm okay with being single. Do I want to be single? No. Do I want to have a man, a protector? Absolutely. But I'm not going to settle just to say I got a man.
But you don't have to settle to acknowledge that you need something. Like, you don't have to settle. And, it's not, I think we saying you need a man don't mean you have to just settle for any man. But it's still knowing that you need that, because that plays a big role when you're talking to men and it's like, I don't need a man. He instantly is like useless.
But I never said that to anybody.
You just said it.
I don't say it to somebody that I'm getting to know. That's not a conversation that I have. I don't say, "Oh, I don't need you." What I'm saying, as a woman, as a grown woman, almost 50 next year, I've accomplished so much. I had a husband, and he was not a provider. And even though I supported him 100% in his career, the support was not reciprocated. My grandfather, who would have been almost 117 if he were still alive, he had a 4th grade education. He met my grandmother. They moved to Chicago. They raised 6 kids. My grandfather built his business. By the time I came around, they had owned their homes, their cars. My grandmother never worked. I'm not saying that I want to be a housewife, but my grandmother ain't ever have to worry about anything because my grandfather provided. That's the type of man that I require. I married for love the first time. That's not enough.
You rolling your eyes over there.
So what's
you rolling your eyes? Go ahead, man.
So what's the enough then? I guess I'm confused because you say you don't need a man, which I feel like those are your genuine feelings, right? You don't think you display that at all?
When I say I don't need a man to survive or to pay bills or to support me. No, I don't need a man. Do I want a companion? Do I want a good, loving man? Absolutely. But it's not something that I'm going to I can't just go out there and I've dated off and on for 16 years. I haven't found the person that is well pegged for me.
I feel like he's trying to get at, I feel like he's trying to say, since you honestly feel like you don't need a man, subconsciously you will be projecting that I don't need you, and men want to feel like they're needed.
I disagree. Because the last guy I dated, the one who had it all together, who's younger than me, when I say I was nurturing, affectionate, I'm going to cook you meals, I'm going to be there for you, I'm going to listen to you, I'm going to support you, you can cry in front of me. That stuff, I'm okay with all that. But because he wasn't willing to be vulnerable, it didn't work. I opened up after being single for so long. I became vulnerable. I don't like to be vulnerable. He wasn't willing to match that or do the same. So if you're not willing to be vulnerable when I'm showing that I'm being vulnerable, it's not going to work. He'd be outside, mowing the lawn. Let me bring you some water. It's hot outside.
And also, okay, so why didn't that relationship work?
He's a narcissist.
He had mommy issues.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
And ex-wife issues. He talked about the ex-wife all the time. So when we first started talking, he was referring to her as a bitch. I said, let me stop you. You chose to lay down with her. You chose to procreate. You chose to marry her. You cannot call her a bitch in front of me. I don't care. I don't know her story. I don't care how tumultuous your relationship was. But you and I both made a choice with our exes. You cannot call her a bitch in front of me.
Why not?
It's disrespectful. I'm somebody's mother as well. You're not gonna.
So it's disrespectful just based off like childhood. You was always told that word is disrespectful.
No, it's just disrespectful.
Or the way that because he's talking about her negatively, or because if that's her personality, I'm not sure what's the difference in giving any like assessment of a person. Like even saying my husband was a narcissist or is a narcissist, you're not looking at that as the same as him calling her a bitch, but it's still a derogatory negative that you're putting on him.
So
because
my husband's traits are narcissistic, but you're not going to disrespectfully call another woman a bitch in front. It's a me thing. You're not going to do that. Now you can talk about how the crazy things she's done, but at the end
but don't
of the
use
day,
the word.
No.
But it's okay for you to use narcissist.
But I didn't really use that word a lot. I told him my story. And after I stopped dating him, I was like, oh, they both was narcissists. What the hell? Because what they do is they reel you in. I'm telling you. He was charming. He would fix stuff for me, just everything that I wanted. And then the representative faded and the real issues came out.
So men can't be the prize. That's what you say, or they're not the prize because you are the one being pursued.
For me, I can't speak for everybody.
You got anything else, Pun?
I believe all people are the prize. We should be pouring into each other. So, the same reasons you give that a woman is the prize, you can give the same reasons for a man. We have things that you all want and need, and if we got our shit together, why is it not okay for me to feel like that? It's almost like you don't want me to be confident in myself and know that I'm worth something. Because
words in my mouth.
I didn't say you said that. I did not say you said that.
But
I'm saying the way it comes across is that you don't want me to have that where I feel like, yeah, I'm the prize too. And why not though?
So let me elaborate. He had a lot of feminine energy. He did. He was way more emotional and way more. Do
you see why he couldn't be vulnerable with you?
No.
You just said the man was emotional.
I'm saying he's after the fact.
So you don't think that your energy projects these
Absolutely
things?
not.
You don't think that men know how to read women when they feel
Absolutely
stuff?
not. Because let me tell you, when he cried in front of me, he was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that." I was like, "You can cry in front of me," but I'm talking.
Not
this is
when
the
you was telling about he got feminine energy after the fact and was way too emotional. This is exactly why men don't do those things.
See, but these are observations I made after I was out of it, when I was able to evaluate what we were doing and what was going on. Because a lot of times he would deflect his issues upon me and make me feel like I was in the wrong.
You feel like in the moment you didn't see that he was being feminine and like.
No,
right.
Absolutely not.
You had to sit back. You had the issue had to pass. Oh man,
for me to reflect.
Yeah, you had to reflect on it.
I had to reflect, and so one of the things was, I'm trying to give you an example. So, for instance, looking back, there were points I was like, oh, I understand why men feel the way they feel about women, because he got upset about something that was like so just trivial. And I'm like, well, instead of holding it in, why can't we just talk about it right here, resolve it and move on? So you walk past, you see me, you don't talk to me for like 3 days. I'm like, hey, let's address it. And you're like, nah, you go silent. Okay. Let's reconvene when you feel, but you got to stop talking to me for a week. We're adults. Why can't we just address it in that moment or maybe a day later and move past it? He also did he raised his voice and got disrespectful too. So there's a whole lot more that I'm not going to really disclose. Yeah, that was to it. You know what I mean?
That disclose too much.
So I had to just kind of remove myself from the situation.
All right. Enough about him.
No, please.
Next time.
Please.
I love it. I want to find a clip, but I just went live on TikTok, so I just asked a question.
It's in our messages.
Huh? Well, yeah, it's in our messages. In the TikTok one, it was a Corey. Was it Corey Holcomb?
Oh, the one about the child support thing.
Yeah. It was Go ahead, play that for Ikhanic for me real quick.
Oh, I thought that was. Didn't you send me something about Teyana Taylor and Iman?
Oh yeah, we gonna get to that. Yeah, we gonna get to that. Oh yeah, we gonna hit that right after this.
Let me say, I ain't ever received child support, so
So you won't be stirred.
I don't even want to ask. I'm gonna assume they did what they were supposed to.
Who?
I said I'm gonna assume. I'm not asking.
You gonna assume? See, that's what problem. People assume too much.
Yep,
Well, I'm sure you will let us know within the next few topics. You
can ask my son. He'll tell you.
Here you go.
Just fucking say it from the heart.
Okay.
It is my opinion that once the system / child support is part of the situation with the woman and the man and the child, once child support is involved, we are not co-parenting anymore, in my opinion. Anything you want, you have to get it through the system that you sent at me, because that is a literal case. Child support is a case.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask y'all opinion on this. If you got me on child support, I don't fuck with you for nothing but what they told you get. That's just my opinion. And sometimes the child doesn't get what they're supposed to get, but the child is not gonna get what they're supposed to get if you got a case on me. That's just how I feel. And I'm saying like something.
So, let me lead you into this one. If you get child support, that is all you're getting from me. Fair or foul?
I think it's foul, honestly. And let me tell you why. When I got divorced and our divorce decree, he was back then. The laws have changed now. So back then, if you had one child, it was 20%. 2 children, 24. It was by a percentage. So now they calculate it based off which parent, the incomes, right?
They should.
Huh?
Which they should.
Agreed. So I basically I have 2 children. I was like, so for 2 years after we got divorced, I kept asking him, say, can you send some money? Because he moved away to New York. Can you send some money? Can you send some money? The kids need, they have doctor's appointments, they have braces, they have activities, nothing. So after 2 years, my cousin says to me, she was like, stop asking. Put him in the system. And I said, you're absolutely right. And let me tell you how much the first check I got was $177. The most I've gotten monthly was $200 a month for 2 kids. Because he didn't have a regular 9-to-5 job where they can deduct his pay. He works in the music industry, so he gets paid like by checks and by corporations. And let me tell you, one of the stupidest things that I did, he didn't talk me into. I was trying to reason with him. I said, look, he was $15,000 in arrears, and they took his passport and his driver's license. And he's like, I got some gigs overseas. Can you please just write a letter and forgive the arrears? And so at first I was like, nah, because, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm transporting my kids. I'm doing everything for them. And so finally I said, then he had his girlfriend text me and ask me, could I also forgive the arrears? And so when I thought about it, I said, you know what? If that's going to allow you to bring in an income, cool. Called the child support, forgave the $15,000 arrears. Asked me how much I got after that.
How much you get after that?
For a few years, nothing.
Okay.
When he broke up with his girlfriend, then he was able to actually, because I've always been like, hey, it's all about the kids. You can come here to the house, I'll leave, I want them to have their dad, right? And so once he broke up with the girlfriend, now we can have a good relationship. So he would start giving me money on a consistent basis. Then he started dating somebody else. Nothing.
So the money came and went as the women came and went.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's my story.
Punk.
What's up, Duece?
If
you put me on child support, that's all you getting. I'm gonna get my kid. I'm gonna come see him. I'm gonna take him places, but don't call me and ask me for nothing.
But you
because whatever you getting from
co-parenting, are you seeing your kids? You're active in their life, right?
Yeah, I'm always being my kid's life, but don't call me and ask me for nothing.
Well, but that's not the topic, Punk. You changing the topic.
I'm not changing the topic.
Is that's all you get. That means time. That means your presence. That means your energy. You know what they was talking about in that clip, Punk. Don't try to slip.
I personally felt like he was just talking about the monetary part.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about
That's how I personally felt. He was just talking about the monetary part.
How did you take it, Ikhanic? You feel like he just talked about his monetary, or he was like, I ain't gonna be there.
Like time, he not gonna see the kids or none of that, except
really
for on those days.
To me, it sounded more financial. Like if you asked me for
that's how I took
half of a doctor's bill.
I thought he was saying,
don't call me and ask me for none of that. I don't even know why you calling me. Like,
because these are your kids.
Yeah.
So if
you went to the court to let them decide how much money you needed for our kids from me.
No, the court to let them decide. Oh, right. Okay.
So when they decided, that was your choice. So now why you calling me? Because you let somebody make that decision for you.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
So our situations are different. I tried for 2 years. I'm not going to keep asking you.
I'm not saying you shouldn't put a person on child support. If they not doing what they supposed to, by all means, put them on child support. All I'm saying is when you do that, what you talking to me about it for?
So the court said to you, hey, you only got to give her $200 a month. So you're not gonna buy them your kids clothes or
when they come with me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take care of but don't call me and ask me for nothing because I'm the type of person we could figure this thing out without the courts.
Sure.
But if you go to the courts, you chose what you made your choice and your decision. You said you wanted somebody to tell me how much money to give you every month. So that's what I'm gonna do for you.
I do think there are a lot of women who go based off emotion. You know, there are some women who say, "Oh, he got another girlfriend. Oh, let me put him in child support in case." I absolutely, because I've seen it. Mm-hmm. I've got friends. I've seen it. Mm-hmm. I'm just not that person, and I think that if you can work something out where both parents are involved, because my mother, my parents divorced when I was 1 year old, and they were married for 5 years, and my mother always said, "Look, even though you left, you chose a woman with another family. I want us to co-parent." My dad just, because his wife was not allowing it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
You go to the courts. I don't know. I just don't know what to tell.
So are you saying that if a man is truly involved with his kids, he's getting them half the time, he's doing everything, right? Because there are some men who still do that and still got to pay child support.
Oh yeah, I know some, and the same way your story. I know people that got stories where they was paying child support. The girl get pregnant by another dude. Now I want to take you back to child support to get more money. I mean, still paying for sports things. Like, why? I told him, why are you doing all that? And he was sending her like $1,000 a month, like $500 every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Bro, why are you paying for sports stuff? Why are you paying for any of this?
But do you think that $500 every 2 weeks is going to cover groceries, extra expenses, everything?
What do you mean? So this is the way
boys eat a lot.
This is the way I look at child support, right? The court system tell you they take both of y'all income. Mm-hmm. They say what both of you supposed to pay half for, right? Mm-hmm. So that $500 every 2 weeks I give you supposed to match it, right? If we half and half, you supposed to match it.
Sure.
It take more than $1,000 every 2 weeks to raise a kid. Is groceries and stuff gonna cost more? That's how I'm looking at it because that's what it's supposed to be. This your half. You supposed to have that other half.
Yeah.
It don't take that much.
See, when I was married, the laws were different. So they've definitely changed. But there are a lot of men who just like, oh, you want to put me in child support? Because some men control the situation with the money. I'll give you what I want to give you. And so there are some women like my cousin. She tried to work with her ex-husband. Look, he's got this, this, and this. So finally she's like, I'm tired of asking you. You moved out of the state. You're no longer involved in your son. So I'm putting you in the system. Some women don't have a choice.
You always have a choice. But if you make that choice, I ain't saying that's the wrong one. If the dude not taking care of his responsibilities, put him on child support. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but once you do.
Let me jump in here. Jump in here. Great segue here. All right. As we talk about child support and money, Teyana Taylor divorces Iman Shumpert, and this is what she gets in the divorce settlement: 4 houses valued at over $10 million, and Iman Shumpert,
she got 4 of them valued at over $10 million.
He's not an NBA no more, right?
No,
he's acting.
Barely, I guess.
All right, let me get back in here. They just
my fault.
They just pushed me right on out of here. Okay, let's get it again. All right. She's getting 4 houses valued at over $10 million. Iman Shumpert has been ordered to make a one-time 7-figure payment. She also gets a $300,000 Maybach, $70,000 Mercedes Sprinter tour bus.
He got to pay $8,000 a month,
yeah,
and all they private school fees.
Yeah, he will, as well as 100% ownership of all her companies she keeps, and he pays for private school, and he pays $8,000 a month.
Why did he leave them?
Time running.
Is this fair?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna start with. Go ahead, Punk.
I don't think it's fair, but you know.
But can you come on?
They both got money. Like, y'all both got money. Why do he need to pay you millions of dollars in a lump sum after giving you, or you get all this stuff you got? Because his list of stuff he got in the divorce wasn't as long as hers.
Depends on what state did they get married in? Because California, you're gonna get screwed.
And it probably was.
If you're in California, guys, don't do it. Don't get married in California. You better go over to Vegas, because if you're in California, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a wrap. I think these celebrities. So, like for instance, I remember reading Misa Hilton and Kim Porter were kind of going back and forth, like they needed more money a month for child support, and they were getting already like $20,000-$30,000 a month, right? And so I read, I don't know if it's true, when Misa Hilton saw that Kim was getting more, she wanted more, and she got 1 kid by him, she got 3. At some point, it's greed. At some point, it's just flat out greed.
Because why? Exactly. Why is he paying?
But they're supporting their lifestyle. Get a job. Well, Misa Hilton is a stylist. I don't know what Kim Porter did, rest her soul, but put up with Diddy's BS. But so she, you know what? Kim Porter deserved every penny she got. Never mind.
She's on a tangent.
But seriously, like these celebrities who. They battle for, if they bought the houses together, why can't you just split it in half? Why do you need a tour bus? Why can't you sell it and split the proceeds?
I mean, she still goes on tour, I think. So maybe she do need the tour bus. I don't even care about those assets. But once he's given all those assets, or however that breaks down, I don't want to say given. They might have bought them together, whatever.
Yeah.
Why the 7-figure lump sum payment?
And she got to keep the 4 houses?
She got to keep 4 houses valued over $10 million.
Why do you need 4 houses?
It's the payoff, man. It's the payoff.
And then I still got to pay you $8,000 a month child support.
If you got married in California, Iman, R.I.P., I'm sorry.
And with my $8,000 a month I'm paying you, that's not enough to pay for private school?
I read that she was making
because I got to pay for that. Yeah, but I got to pay for.
But it's
for school too.
If it's California, I'm telling you, California does not play, and neither does New Jersey. You paying alimony.
Florida too.
Yep.
I got a buddy who was just paying.
Yep, you paying alimony in New Jersey.
So you think it was fair, Ikhanic?
I do not.
Okay. All right.
Did she just walk in Paris for Vogue? Like, she making money, you know?
Yes.
Even if she
it don't matter how
who has
much.
the kids most of the time? If she's working more than he is. He couldn't push for himself to say, I want to be the custodial parent. I mean, look at Jennifer Hudson's ex-husband. He did.
Anything. So, no, that's a whole
Go ahead.
They were like sharing memes, I guess, of him trying to get half of something of hers. I don't know if it was true. It probably wasn't. But even if it was, even whatever the case is, the comments on it is just like, men sassy and he weak for this, and it's like, why?
No,
What? But that's the narrative men got to deal with if they try to go for what's fair.
In this situation, I don't think it's fair. I don't think so. I'm a minimalist. I don't think you need all that. Even if I had millions of dollars, you wouldn't know it. I don't. But you wouldn't know. I'm like Mark Zuckerberg. Let me have this little regular plain little house and a little, hybrid car. But that's just me.
All right. I just got a quick little lighthearted question here.
Okay.
Ikhanic.
Yes.
He be full of shit when he say that. What the heck?
But it's lighthearted.
This is very lighthearted. This is very lighthearted. Would you entertain a man in the club to secure drinks?
So stupid. Would I entertain a man to secure drinks? Let me go back to my clubbing days because I used to stay in the streets.
Oh man!
No, I want your answer now. I want a mature.
9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm in the bed. So let me have to reach back. I'm not gonna even lie.
Reach back to your 30s.
You might go to happy hour. No, hell no. You might go to happy hour and catch you a 5 or 7.
Love vibe. She said she be dating.
It's It's happy hours and stuff out here.
Remind me to tell you about the last fool I went on a date with.
No, okay, all right, but I need you to answer the question.
Do I need to secure a man to get
No. If you're in the, if you going out, right?
Uh-huh.
If you going out, right? Would you entertain a man just to secure like drinks? Like, a man can want to buy you drinks, want to conversate. Would you flirt a little more? Would you?
This man walked up. You knew you wasn't interested in him, but you still talking, flirting because he's buying drinks.
I don't have a good poker face, and I just no.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. I don't want to be bothered with people I don't want to be bothered with. That's just me. But if he offered a drink, I would take it. I'm not going to turn down a drink.
But you're not going to entertain them either. So you taking a drink and walking off.
We can converse. Right. We absolutely converse, but you can't have my number if I'm not interested in you.
Okay. Is it okay for him to be handsy?
Absolutely fucking not. Can we curse on here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely
free will.
Not. Don't fucking touch me.
Sounds respectable.
What'd you say, this Nick?
I said sounds respectable.
She was talking about me.
What'd you say?
You
Nothing.
was talking about me, wasn't you?
No.
Anyway, let's keep it moving.
Y'all a mess. But I love it.
I do not want to get serious, so I gotta find some different topics. Hold on.
We gotta be serious.
You don't want to talk about the slave people?
Oh, because I'm coming back. That's
okay, good. I love that.
You want to talk about the slave people?
Did you see that?
I saw that shit. That shit pissed me off. I showed my students that for current events.
Man,
what grade?
It's special kids with special needs.
Oh, I can mess with them. I can't fuck with these teenagers.
Yeah.
I'm a kid.
We got. Yeah, we'll talk
special
about it
needs,
after
they
that.
have. No.
Yeah, no, they do, but we deal with high schoolers, teenagers too.
Well, thank you for your service because teachers are underappreciated. I'm very serious.
Thank you.
Absolutely, we need our teachers. Back to the topic. All right, West Virginia couple uses adopted.
First of all, you said West Virginia. Let's talk about West Virginia. All the gypsies, all the Confederate flags, all the Appalachian inbreds. Like, come on, no. That's not acceptable. That's not cool.
Let us get us back in with the topic.
They in jail. They got $1 million bond.
Okay, hold on. Let me intro this topic real quick, just for the edits. West Virginia couple uses adopted African American kids, black kids, however you want to say it, and uses them as slaves. Ikhanic.
And the 2 lighter ones get to be in the house, but not around their siblings. They locked up in like and then the 3 dark ones lived in like a
I blame
What
Trump.
is wrong?
I blame Trump for all of it.
Nah, you can't blame Trump.
Well, let me say, and I say that lightly. I'm joking. But he did. His campaign did make some white people think that they can just now start being very upfront with their racism.
Yeah, I mean they should be.
Say whatever, because he says whatever he wants.
I'm okay with them being upfront with their racism. Let me know how you feel about me. You don't hide it, don't sugarcoat it. But what you're not gonna do is have kids as slaves. I don't care how you feel about. I don't care how you feel about me, my race, none of that. But slaving black kids, they only come out for 12 hours a day, from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening, and they're on a farm, like a 200-acre.
So now you got kids with trauma. It's more children with trauma. Absolutely not. And so what's going to stop them from being adopted or fostered by another white family?
I hope somebody paying enough attention to,
But
get them and make sure. No. Honestly, no.
What is wrong with people?
So let me ask you this.
They sick.
Can I ask y'all a question? So what do you guys, there's a lot of celebrities who adopted black kids, right? Like Madonna, Charlize Theron, Sandra Bullock. Charlize Theron, I don't know if it's both or one, but she adopted a young black boy who identifies as a girl. And now he is identifying, she's allowing him to do that.
The change.
So what's your question?
My question as two black men, how do you feel about that?
About white people adopting black kids?
Not just that, but young black boys who
want to get the change. Mm-hmm. I don't want to make this about race because it's not. I don't have anything against what a person wants to do. I have something against a person not 18 years old being able to make a lifelong decision that they don't know how they're going to feel in 20 years.
So saying, with that said, that's how you feel like Dwayne Wade?
Yes, I feel the same way about it. Don't matter what race you are. I wouldn't let my kid get a tattoo before 18. That's a life decision. No, you're not. Yeah. When you turn 18 and you can make that decision on your own, go ahead and do it. Sure. And it's really hypocritical of me because my mama let me go at like 16. I asked her, she said, I don't care if I ain't got to pay for it. I went and did it. Mm-hmm. But for my kids, it's like, nah, wait till you're 18. Well, one, he asked for some that was like, stupid. What? Nah, wait till you're 18. But I don't think a kid, especially, they letting these kids start this stuff at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Like, you ain't even hit puberty. You don't even know what your body gonna develop into, like what your hormones gonna change, puberty kick in, you gonna start feeling different. You haven't even experienced your childhood to be saying, I want to make a decision that I'm gonna have to deal with as an adult. You don't know what your adult life gonna be like. It's just like
I saw a documentary on YouTube a while ago about people who transition and they detransition because they were like, I was too young. I regret, cutting off my breasts, or I regret taking the hormones. I absolutely think you should be 18.
Yeah, I don't care what do whatever you want to when you 18. It don't affect me in no type of way. I do think they should be upfront and honest about it. Mm-hmm. And feeling like I don't have to tell anybody that's my personal. Sure. No, you have to tell people that because there's something wrong with that. And speaking of, like, on that subject, well, you sent the video. They saying a teenager murdered a woman who was really a transgender, was a man, changed to a woman that was trying to take advantage of him. But they're saying this teenager killed the woman. No, he killed a transgender man who was trying to molest him. However it go, he was a man changed to a woman.
Transgender woman.
Okay, transgender woman that was trying to molest him. This was an adult. A teenager and an adult.
So here's the thing.
But the narrative was teenager murders a woman. What? Like it's just I don't.
First of
know.
all, we're not going to touch anybody who's under 18 if you're over 21. And I'm not saying that it hasn't happened, because it does, but I mean, don't touch the kids. I'm all about the kids. Don't touch the kids.
Yeah, no decision making till 18 for me.
It was a young lady that posted on social media, and she was basically saying, on the first date, please disclose your sexual orientation, because she didn't want to deal with men that also liked men as well. So my question is, should sexual orientation be discussed on the first date?
Absolutely.
First conversation?
That's one of my first questions. Have you slept with a man? Do you think about men? Have you fantasized with a man? That's your prerogative. I'm fine with that. I have a son who's gay. It's fine. It's just not my choice.
It's wild we even gotta ask that, but yes,
You
it should be. It should
when
be
I first started
disclosed.
dating my ex-husband years ago, that was one of the questions. I was like, look, I don't care if you big, masculine, small, skinny. I'm asking. Those are my list of questions. And if you do, great. I'm going to support you. But it's just not for me.
Right. Yeah, I feel you.
It's not for me.
Yeah, I feel like it should be disclosed.
So let me ask you this. If a woman came to you and said, I'm bisexual.
Do I care?
Yeah.
Nah.
Do you want that disclosed in the very beginning?
I don't really care. It don't matter. It's not like a deal breaker for me, so it don't really matter.
But
I ask questions that I feel like are a deal breaker, like something I would need to know that if you told me this later on, I might want to dip. Like those the questions I would ask.
Okay,
upfront.
so-
it's different for men, though.
It is.
It's different for men
absolutely is.
how many men? I would say 85% of the men in the world would love to have a threesome.
I would think more than that.
Probably, and I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing.
More of the percentage than that. What if she said, I'm into transgender men?
You ain't for me, baby. Cause I ain't that, and it ain't.
But
we clearly ain't on the same page. Cause I'm not.
But what if they had the full transition? They got the bottom surgery and top surgery.
No, he's saying she's into transgender men.
Right, a man.
I'm not a trans.
A man who used to be a woman.
Yeah, I ain't that.
I mean,
so
woman who's
clearly
giving-
you ain't into me because I ain't that. So,
But let's just say she's bisexual though, because she's now interested in
nah,
trans.
we don't. Nah, I don't want what used to be. I don't know how to say this. Like without it, I don't want it to come out. I don't.
You biologically.
I believe what you come out as.
That's what
I need to be able to naturally reproduce with you. I'm
but you know,
serious.
some of these transgender women, you can't tell.
Get it. Yeah, they ain't got uteruses and
How
they don't
so-
bleed every month.
So what if you met a woman who like was totally, you could never tell, had the bottom surgery and everything? Like, when do you assess?
I'm asking what? Huh?
So like, let's just say you met a woman and you thought it was a biological woman, right? Because there were no signs.
I feel like it's science. It gotta be, but
It's
so
not.
we're
It's not.
going on a hypothetical that I didn't know.
Right.
Okay, then
And she
what?
never wanted to disclose it.
Like I asked her and she just didn't want to answer.
But is that a question that you would ask a woman?
No, I've been married a long time, so
Yeah.
I don't even, I don't really have these issues at this point. So,
But let's just
but
say,
I feel like if I started dating now, hell, I really need to think about
and you
that.
couldn't even tell, like, like
I would need to act the way the world is set up these days. You probably should ask, because if I find out later on, or in the moment, it's a heated moment.
But
I don't know
they
where
have
my
vaginas
emotions
now.
will take me. Nah, see, nah.
Surgery
We
has
just
got
need
so
to come.
technical.
We need to come to dates with birth certificates. Like
But
that's
they can
just
now
what
get their
it-
birth certificates changed.
Oh,
And
our kids doomed. That's
and
really
now,
what
did you know that they were I read an article in the health field that in birth certificates, some doctors are saying we don't need to put a gender on the birth certificate.
the problem with science?
I'm just saying.
Okay, let me. I wanted to
That
talk
shit too
about
complicated.
this. I wanted to talk
I
about
have a question.
Go ahead.
Do black men and women still like each other? I'm walking down the hallway and it's three guys. One of them of Caucasian descent, the other two of African American descent. And so as I'm walking, one of Caucasian descent, I don't necessarily just want to say white, he looks at me and he smiles. Okay, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? No, we smile. The other two, straightforward, baby, like they in the military. And I'm like, that's odd. Okay, so another guy, Caucasian descent, of course. As I'm walking through the door, he walks before me. He literally stretches his foot out to, make sure that the door doesn't hit me in the face and holds the door for me. I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you. No, you're good. Go right ahead. Brother, let the door hit me right in the face. Bro, what is going on?
What's the question, dude?
Well, here's the question that I had. Is it okay to speak to women in public? Is it okay to approach black women in public?
So I want to say yes, right? But the truth is,
come on, give us the truth. We here for the truth. We got to bridge this gap here because this is a big gap right here.
I don't think black women understand that.
Some.
We speaking generally, but it's nothing is 100%.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
I don't think black women understand that. We talk about trauma a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So as a black young boy, teenager, man, adult, when through the history of your existence, you've either been called lame, goofy, whatever else. Me personally, I can hold the door for a person and they'll walk through the door and won't say nothing. And in my mind, I'm like,
are you saying a black woman or just anyone?
A black woman. Okay. I'm saying people, period. Okay. But we are speaking about black women and black men. Okay. Yes, black women will walk through the door and not say a word, not a smile. They keep looking at their phone, whatever they got going on, as if you're supposed to hold the door for them. I was taught to do that. However, that does not mean it's okay for you to lack manners to say thank you. So then when men stop doing these things, it's an issue of, do we even like y'all? But then it's also I don't need a man. And you keep telling us that and keep telling us that. And then when we stop doing stuff, it's like, well, why you stop? Because you keep telling us. And then unfortunately, the nice guys who do the nice gestures, they usually end up with the short end of the stick. So then it's a vicious cycle of, I've been doing these things. You all don't appreciate it. So now the next woman gets that treatment, unfortunately, because of what we done dealt with.
Sure. And it's the same for
But it
black
don't
women.
mean we don't like y'all. We love y'all.
Yeah, it's the same for black women. We've had bad experiences too, where we tried to be nice and loving and nurturing and giving, and they don't want that. They want the crazy chicks. The nice guys want the crazy chicks. Look, I got 3 guy friends. They always choose the complicated chicks. So I will say this: when a man,
they probably feel more needed in that situation.
Oh, absolutely,
which is crazy.
Absolutely.
But
I think so. When I'm used to speaking to people when I make eye contact. So when black men say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Hey, how you doing?" A young guy actually held the door for me. Coming out the gym not too long ago, and I was surprised. I thought he was gonna let that. I was like, "Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that." It's really about where you're at in life. I just feel like I'm gonna treat people like I want to be treated.
But that shouldn't be about where you're at in life. That's basic. Like growing up, your parents should teach you to be respectful.
Not everybody was taught that.
So whose fault is that then? Because we're placing blame on each other when we're saying we weren't taught it.
Some people will go with what they know. Other people will get it and say, I'm just going to be a good person. But let me tell you, I was in a beauty supply store the other day. This girl walks in. I kid you not. It looks like she had a bra and panties on. And a bonnet. Saggy boobs, halfway out, ass cheeks out. And it took everything in me, not to say, sister, You couldn't just put on
some sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Some sweatpants and a t-shirt. Because when I used to be a day camp counselor years ago at Jackson Park, I had 11-year-old girls, and they were sassy, and I had to sit them down and say, hey, we're not gyrating. We're going to be young ladies. I just think that women just don't care no more. They just is.
So do you think y'all lack respect for yourselves?
I don't, but a lot of women.
We speaking in general.
So I think there are a lot of women who feel like they can get a man by getting the butt shots and all, you know, the outside part, but they haven't really worked on the inside. And perhaps they don't know how to work on the inside. Perhaps they think their inside is okay.
That's the biggest problem.
It is, because we're not taught that therapy is okay. Talk to somebody.
All right, let's get you back on topic. Hey, Punk, you ever just tried to randomly just speak generally? Hey, how you doing? And then just no response.
Because maybe they think they're trying to get with them.
And when I was talking to one of my friends about the topic, they were like, "Yeah, because women think y'all trying to holler." So when you trying to be nice, or you just trying to speak and just be a positive person and spread positive energy, a lot of women take that as you trying to holler at them or trying to shoot your shot.
Some of them are so not used to that treatment, so they don't know how to receive it. I'm trying to tell you.
So then what am I supposed to do after that? The next woman walk down the street, I'm supposed to do the same thing?
Be who you are. Why are you going to change who you are because somebody don't understand and don't get it? Why would you change you?
Because how much of this am I supposed to endure? Do I get a breaking point?
You mean opening the doors and being polite?
I'm just saying, if you saying be you, right? And to my core, I'm a person who opens doors. Yeah. I'm polite. And 10 out of 11 times I opened the door, I was polite. Person just walked past, said nothing. That 11th time I decide not to do it, I should, do I not get that breaking point that it's I'm sick of this shit?
But are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for them? Are you doing it because that's what you were taught to do, or that's who you genuinely are? So
even if I'm doing whatever the reason is, if I'm doing it because it's genuinely who I am, it does not feel good when you're treated that way. So how much punishment should I take because this is who I am before I get to say I'm not dealing with this?
So why do you feel like it's punishment? Because perhaps let me put it at you this way. Let's just say out of 10 of those women that didn't say thank you, right? Mm-hmm. One of those women thought about it and was like, damn, I should have said thank you. So next time when a man opens the door for me, I'm going to say thank you. You never know how you're going to impact somebody with your kind gestures.
Or you never know how you're going to impact somebody with your unkind gesture. It's the same thing.
But it would be, if they don't expect it, then they just, if they know that's what they're going to get, that this dude ain't going to open the door because I'm not used to this, then what's going to change? I'm not going to change who I am because I'm genuinely a kind, nurturing person. I'm not going to change who I am because this nigga didn't appreciate. Oh, well, I'm like, well, damn, you could have said thank you, but okay, keep it moving. That was your blessing for today. You missed out.
Yeah, I just think men get to a point where they get tired. You get tired of dealing with that and that narrative. Who do you think you are that it's just okay for you not to be polite?
But this is a different generation in time. It's a whole generation.
It's not just the young people though. Yeah, this is black.
Let me say something. Black women have been beat down for so long,
and we haven't.
I'm not saying that I can only speak for. I'm not saying that you haven't. Black people. Let me just start off saying black people have been beaten down, but black women. Not only have they been beaten down by society, but they have been beaten down by their men. There's a long history in my family, in friends' families, because of that trauma that was endured on generations ago. It just carried down.
So what's happening now? when it's now this what they calling this soft guy era and men being sassy and feeling like they the prize. What's happening now? Is this like payback? Like y'all beating us down now because it happened to y'all for so long?
Look, let me just say something. I ain't never liked the thugs.
Not you.
I always liked the nice nerdy guys.
We not talking about you.
Let me just say this. Women, y'all better start. The nerdy guys are really the freaks. Let me just say this. They will put it down. You think that thug dude? Nah, he gonna have 7 different women. That nerdy dude is gonna make sure that you are pleased from top to bottom. I'm just saying. He might not be your forever guy, but he might be your right now.
Why he can't be your forever guy?
Because sometimes they might have some issues.
I mean, everybody got issues.
Yeah. But I'm saying black women also have to learn it's okay to date outside of your race.
Here we
Did
go.
you just see?
Hold
on.
Go ahead.
Did you
That's
hear
me.
what you just said about a nerdy black dude?
I said a nerdy guy. I didn't say you.
Okay, a nerdy guy. You said a nerdy.
I said don't sleep on the so-called weak, nerdy, lame dudes. Don't sleep on them.
Right, but then you turned around and said they may not be your forever guy
because
like that.
So let me.
Do you see how bad that comes off?
Okay.
It's like an underhanded compliment. The nerdy guy good, but he might not be forever. But for right now, he good.
No. So let me elaborate. Because I'm a Pisces, and sometimes we are very misunderstood. When I say he might not be your forever guy, because maybe it doesn't work out. Like the thug guy might not be your forever, but don't pass up the lame dude because you think he's lame. Don't pass him up. Maybe he will be your forever guy. He might not, but don't pass him up. That's what I'm just saying. I done dated some nerdy dudes. I'm just saying, they're the biggest freaks. It didn't work out. One happened to be on the spectrum, and it just didn't work out emotionally.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I don't know nothing about nerdy guys and
forget the
being freaks. So I don't know nothing about that.
I got plenty of dating stories. Trust.
What was the topic? She made me forget the topic.
That's what I'm here to do.
We were talking about the door closing and speaking and stuff.
Don't think that they're lame dudes.
Here's just my perspective personally. I try to just have that energy towards every black person I come across. I always try to speak. I always try to give some type of acknowledgement, just because I know how bad us as black people have been treated throughout history. How other cultures look down on us. How we just seem to be the butt of everybody's joke, or everybody want to be in black culture, be in our business. Everybody want to profit off of us. So culture vultures. I take pride in seeing another black person and just wanting to treat them with the utmost respect, whether you're a man, whether you're a black woman. And yes, you are going to get that energy to where they're like, some people are going to be like, just ignore you or whatever, or don't return that energy. Most people do come around if it's like a consistent thing, like if you go to school or work and you see these people all the time,
right?
Most people come around like, okay, he's gonna speak to me every time, he's gonna hold the door for me every time, so let me just go ahead and speak back and show respect back. And some people, they just gonna stay in their shell and be them, so I think Punk is right to where some men do kind of, I don't want to say get in their feelings, but they are kind of just trying to be overly respectful, because it seems like
it's not reciprocated.
It's not reciprocated, and they get this good guy, lame guy type of label. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to have to put some fans down here, because I be going through the flashes and the
oh, you don't want it to get cold down here.
Look, I'm going through menopause, so yes. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there because it's one flashing up right now.
Okay, yeah, we'll get a fan for you. But we are at the end. You had something else, Punk?
Yeah, because it's also like the narrative of like, damn, did I lose it?
Get it back. Because I was talking about how like they start to label you. It's like
you said something before that. Yeah,
I was saying how I'm gonna do it every time. I'm gonna be respectful every time. I was saying how you are.
That's yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So do not you, because you probably don't do this, but there's a lot of women in the world who are territorial, who if they man walking outside and speak to another woman, it's like, what you speaking to her for? So that's also an issue with some men. Maybe they're in relationships and feel like, I don't even want to say nothing because I don't want to start no. And not necessarily if she find out, like, just so. Me and my wife been married a long time, and at one point I worked at a hospital, and it was just like talk to people, and she'll be like, "Oh, you talk a lot."
Yeah, but hospitals are whole cities.
Let him finish his story.
I'm just as a nurse.
But I mean, it's kind of like the why you talking to her? Like,
your wife said that?
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying you can feel energy and stuff. And yeah, she has made that comment in some type of way of like, you real friendly, and it's like, yeah, but it was a point where it was like she saw things like, oh no, this female like you, and I'm like, what? Like, I ain't even on that, and she's just like, yeah, all right, whatever. So then in my mind now, I went and worked somewhere else, and I'm like, I'm gonna stay in the fucking bubble. Because I don't want to deal with, like, if I am nice to you and you do like me, and even if I ain't on that, now you looking at me some kind of way, and it's almost like, and it's not that. So I'd rather just stay in my bubble than to create any tension or false feelings or whatever like. And that's a real thing too, because don't nobody got time for drama at the crib, because I done said hi to this lady at work too many times, and now you dropping me off and she like, hey, and I'm like, oh shit, and it just looked like something that is not,
Can I just, from a woman's perspective, so there's a such thing as work husbands, work wives. There are people that you have chemistry with, right?
You're gonna have to turn the air on if we start talking about this.
So I have had chemistry with men that I worked with who are married, but I'm respectful and their boundaries.
Yeah, people gonna have chemistry
Absolutely.
with people.
But there are some women who, a lot, because I've had friends who are nurses that have crossed that line, regardless if they were married or not. So I think it's a double-edged sword, because you don't want to come off as I'm rude or I'm not speaking to nobody, but at the same time you want to still be who you are, right? If your wife says to you about a specific woman, yeah, she feeling you, I think you should heed her warning, because we know. It's a difference if the woman's like, hey, this is your wife. Oh, I'm so excited to meet her.
These women be faking these days.
Well, I'm not fake.
Look, women.
I agree. But what I'm saying is, if your woman says, hey, I'm feeling the vibe, then you have to just, that particular situation, you got it. Hey, how you doing? That's it. But I don't think that you should, it's not fair to say that you're not going to have conversations with your coworkers who are female, right? Julian works in a department full of women. The hospital is mostly women.
And then what else happens? If you really like a nice guy, like you a genuine guy, nice guy, you do those things, hold the door and speak and all that, women become attracted to that.
Because those are traits that they want and that they have not.
So then if you're in a relationship and you in a situation where you can't go out with your friends because their friends are like, oh, he's just this and that, and it's like, I don't do nothing but hold the door, speak. Like, why are they so? Because I'm guessing a lot of men don't do those things and act like that. So then it's like again, I want to kind of stay in the bubble because I'm not trying to project the wrong thing. And that's what's being, it's like
it is a double-edged sword, and I think that
we kind of losing whichever way we go, and this is.
I think that, first of all, and that's a whole nother topic.
And it's society fault.
Your relationship.
I don't mean to cut you off. It's society fault because we got this thought process that you can't just genuinely be nice to people.
Sure,
it's almost
sure.
like it gotta mean that you
gotta
want to
come with-
talk to them. Yeah, and
You
it's
want
like
something in return.
it's not that. Like, and it's not. But that's the general consensus in society now.
Yeah.
And it's just like you almost really can't speak to a woman. They're instantly gonna think that you trying to talk to them in that way.
There's a lot of damage in the black culture and in society, and I just think that so many black women are not used to that. So I will say about my ex-husband, never had to open a door. He would make me breakfast, all these great things that I can't do without. Like, you gotta open doors for me. That's what
You
I'm
need
used
that.
to.
Huh?
I didn't say I need. I said
You
you
just
gotta.
said you can't do without it. If you can't do without it, you need it.
It's a deal. It's not a deal breaker. It's on my list of.
You just don't want
being
to
a
say you
gentleman.
need it. You need it.
So when I say and I know there are women out here who agree with me. When I say I don't need a man, I'm not going out to search for one. I gotta just
you
have
ain't
any
got to.
because I have a lot of friends who they
I know the
have to have a
topic of it.
man.
I know the title
and
of
they
this
just settle for
episode.
anything.
I don't need a man.
Do I want a good man? Absolutely. And I don't give off those I don't need. I think that there are men who don't approach me. And it's not that every man is attracted to me, but I think there are men who don't approach me. One of the things that I was told, especially when I was in college, is that this one guy, one of my friends, he was like, these dudes ain't approaching you because it's a standard they got to live up to. And I'm like, what standard? Like, I'm just a cool chick. Like, but that's why I have a lot of male friends, because
I hate when people.
I don't feel like I can be friends with a man.
I hate when people say that because it comes off like men are intimidated by, you know, what you make. Yeah, that's just
but this was in college. I ain't had no money.
Money don't equal success. So just saying you don't have money, but in college,
What was successful then?
Exactly, like, you know, whatever you
Maybe
were
it's
doing.
So I will say this: when I am, and I've worked on this for the past 5-6 years. When I'm walking down the street, I try not to be on my phone. I try to be aware of my surroundings. I try to make eye contact because I'm a thinker. I'm always thinking about 500 other things, and I don't have a good poker face. So if you walk past me on the street, like, people have told me, oh, I thought you were mean. No, I'm really not. I was thinking about 50 million other things and tuning the world out. Mm-hmm. That's just who I am. But when I engage, what's up? I can make a conversation with anybody randomly in Walmart.
Let's wrap this thing on around. So here's my thing, people. Let's be aware of each other.
Yes.
Man.
Put the phones down.
Put the phones
Yes.
down. And
be nice. Be
Yes.
nice, loving, caring. It's okay to speak. It's okay to be spoken to and not feel like somebody trying to talk to you. Yes, you're beautiful. Everybody don't want you, though. It's okay for us to be cordial and speak and have a good time and acknowledge
one
one
another.
another.
There, though, who think that we just gonna have an attitude with them. That's why I smile. I'm like, hey.
Because they've probably experienced it, unfortunately. Yeah. So let's just
be kind
to each other.
Yes.
Yeah. At some point, we just gotta stop. As long as we keep doing it, the cycle gonna keep continuing, and then we gonna keep pointing the blame at each other, and then it does nothing.
There are more followers in this world than there are leaders, and we have to have more leaders.
Absolutely. I like that. All right. So let's just be kind to each other. Let's be aware that, hey,
everybody got a story.
We a small community. You know what I'm saying? There's not many of us. So let's treat each other with respect, like other communities do. You know, when another Muslim man sees another Muslim man, it's nothing but the utmost respect. It's nothing but the utmost respect. And I feel like black men, we are doing that. Definitely younger black men, as far as like,
I think we try to.
Yeah, I feel like we do try to do that. You know, I think we do try to acknowledge each other and, like, you know, just be cordial.
boundaries.
And let's not just put that on the men women thing too, because black men got an issue speaking to black men. Like we can't speak walking down the street, or you know, like cut it out.
Right.
Yeah, cut it out.
Every man is not gay,
right?
Because they speak to you.
And I ain't beefing with nobody. So if I'm looking at you saying what's up, I'm looking at you saying what's up. It ain't nothing more, nothing less. Like
than love.
It's just
more than love. All right.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Hey, hey, episode 94. This was a good one.
I'm here for the 100.
Hey, are you okay?
Best believe with a bottle of nightjar.
Okay, we'll have you
it's
on.
the only wine I drink for real.
Hey, so any final statements?
I think that's brandy.
Nope.
Anybody want to promote anything? Any businesses? Any final statements? All right. Follow the TikTok. Follow the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. All right. Peace out. Till next time.
Good shit.
Peace out.